Hi, my name's Chris. I'm a little confused. I don't know what consciousness really is, and I don't know why are we different, or are animals conscious, and what separates us from that, and if we're getting in tune when we meditate or with this unity, are animals already in tune? Have we lost this attunement and we're trying to get it back through meditation? So, yeah.
That's a bunch of beautiful questions. What was that first part of that question?
What's consciousness?
I was saying, if you have a golf ball size consciousness, when you read a book, you'll have a golf ball size understanding. When you look out, a golf ball size awareness. When you wake up, a golf ball size wakefulness. And you'll have a golf ball size inner happiness. But when you expand it, more understanding, more awareness, more sense of self, self-awareness, bliss, wakefulness. And when you hear that enlightenment is wide awake, then you might think we're all sort of in trouble. Apparently there's many degrees of wakefulness, but wide awake in pure consciousness is the state of enlightenment. Wide awake, always with the self, waking, sleeping, and dreaming. Now, maybe Dr. John Hagelin can talk about the animals, because I'm not sure where they fall in this, but I think it's the human being that can, unfold that supreme enlightenment. And we're built for it. We're built for that dive within. We're built to unfold it. I don't know why we have to do this process, but it's been throughout the ages. Many, many, many have gone before. Maharishi didn't make up this technique. It's an ancient technique for human beings to realize the full self, realize that, unfold it. And human beings have this promise. And on the way to enlightenment, things get better and better. And the enjoyment of doing goes. The way you appreciate things grows. How you get along with people grows better and better. And that's, so beautiful when you're working. Now I've heard that there's businesses, they had an article in the paper, businesses run on fear. Businesses run on fear. And I thought if I ran my set on fear, I wouldn't get even 1% of what I get. No one would go the extra mile. But it's like a macho thing to run your business on fear. And people are in fear all day long. And when you fear a place, pretty soon you start to hate the place. And you hate to go to work. And that hate turns to anger. And then you're angry at your work. This is the reverse of that. You start unfolding all these positive things, the negative things start to recede. And if you have a set with this kind of atmosphere going, people go the extra mile. They start flying with ideas. They start helping out more. They start being with you and it's not against you. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Josh. I first got in love with Eraserhead in 8th grade because of an interview with John Waters saying that was his favorite movie. And I was wondering if there was a mutual respect you have with the work of John Waters, or if there are any other contemporary directors whose work you admire.
I've met John Waters many times, and I always make sure I thank him for that. Because when Eraserhead first opened in New York City, John Waters had a film opening. And I heard the story that when his film opened, he introduced it on stage, but instead of talking about his film, he said, you all should go see Eraserhead. It was a very good thing. What was the other question?
Are there any particular directors, contemporary directors, that you admire?
I don't know so much about contemporary. I guess Paul Thomas Anderson, I'd say. I like, Fellini and Bergman and Kubrick, those guys a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carolyn, and I want to thank you for your daily weather report.
Thank you very much.
And I have two questions that are related. I was wondering, what is a typical day for you, and are you a vegetarian, and do you believe that vegetarianism contributes to meditation, good meditation?
A typical day, I get up, I meditate, and I go about whatever it is I'm working on. Right now I'm working on editing my film, and I eat chicken sometimes. But I like now a thing called trail mix. And I don't know the type of it, but it's got M&Ms in it. And it's really, really good. You should try it. Now, it's true. It's really important what you eat. They say we are what we eat, but a lot of things are important, but we live in the field of relativity. So relatively, it's most important for me to make that dive within. That, to me, is money in the bank. And I see things getting better. So I just make sure I do that every morning and every evening. And the day is just very enjoyable. And I kind of have a setup where I have a wood shop and a painting studio and a sound studio. I can go, as ideas go, I can go here and there. And that took a long time to get, about 20 years to build that. And so I always wanted a setup. So now I can kind of go here and there as whatever's sparking it, you know, dictates.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jesse. And
Hey Jesse, how you doing?
all right. I was watching the making of Blue Velvet, and I was watching the actors sort of describe how you communicated with them. And I thought it was really interesting because they were saying something like, well, he didn't say much. He just sort of stood there and had this look, and he felt something, and I knew what to do. You know? And I was just interested in, like, maybe you can recreate what you looked like at that moment or something. Or like, you know, what was it that...
Well, I don't sit there like that. But I get up, and that's something about the hands. And it's strange what you say, but this is the case of how it kind of goes. The idea says everything. And so the next idea, the idea dictates everything, you know, that follows. You just stay true to the idea. Now you've got actors, let's say 2 actors, and they're going to rehearse a scene for the first time with me. So I just start the rehearsal anywhere it is. And then when it's over, it's either, normally it's a long way away from where it should be. Sometimes it's closer than I thought. But wherever it is, then you talk. And the way you talk, it doesn't necessarily make so much sense. It's just talking to them, and maybe they say a sentence or something like that, and then you say yes, 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 and they go again. Then the next time it's closer and it's closer, but you go and some new words come up, or a new thing in their face, and then they say okay, and we go again, and little by little by little, it's amazing. A thing goes off in them, and they say, I got it, I've got it. And they own it. And then they bring all their talent to that, and it rolls. But it's a process, you know.
Thanks.
It's a communication, not 100% with words.
Hi, I'm Danny.
Hey, Danny.
I had a question about your short, the 45-second film that you did with the old camera. And I was wondering if you talk about your experience with that and how you came to that idea for the short.
That's a 55-second.
55.
Yeah.